my name's Steve Hanbury, National Landlord Investment Show, and today this is the setting for our show, Old Billingsgate. We've got Tower Bridge just there, we've got the Shard, we've got HMS Belfast. It's a really sunny day, and I'm delighted to be joined with Dale Smith of Host and Stay, talking everything short lets.
No, thanks for having me, Steve.
Lovely to have you with us.
Cool, thank
so,
you.
what changes have you seen in the property investment sector in the last 24 to 36 months?
Been interesting times, really. I would have said high highs and low lows. So, certainly during the COVID period, we saw a dip away in the short lets, both obviously tourism with being closed, but also in the corporate bookings as well. I think in terms of the buy-to-let sector, however, moving into the short lets, we've seen a lot of landlords make the switch from buy-to-lets into the short let sector. I think probably increased regulation from government, becoming more difficult perhaps to move tenants on. So I think speaking to some letting agents we work closely with and the volume increase we've seen in our Host and Stay portfolio, we've seen a definite shift into the short let sector. That's been great for us. Our portfolio's grown by over 300 properties in the last 24 months. But with that, we've also seen quite a lot of pent-up demand. So post-COVID, we've seen higher nightly rates, higher occupancies, definitely across the second half of 2021. This year, however, we're kind of starting to get back to normal occupancy. So 2019 occupancies, nightly rates are starting to slow a little bit. We're certainly competing with overseas travel again on the tourist side. You know, I've travelled quite a bit this year in terms of going abroad. The airplanes are full again. So we're trying to educate our owners, and certainly some of those that have made the shift from buy-to-let to short lets, that the high rates we saw last year and the super high occupancies are not the norm. It's kind of a post-COVID trend. So there's a lot of rebalancing for the short let sector to do, I think.
And it's brilliant to hear the growth that you've had. So how do you see the future of the sort of short-term stroke holiday let?
I think pre-COVID, we were already seeing an increase in domestic travel. So we saw better performance in 2019 than 2018 and 2018 versus 2017. So there was a definite upward trend in occupancy in rates. And we're seeing that continue. So as I said, occupancy is back to sort of 2019 level, but rates are higher. There's been an increased standard in the market as well. We've seen a lot more short lets, holiday lets come to market. The standard and the bar's been raised, which is also driving those rates. So we're pretty bullish in terms of what the future looks like for the holiday let side. I think from a short let serviced accommodation, more urban centre, corporate travel is back on the up. For 2 years, corporate travel pretty much disappeared. Places like this in London, occupancies were super low. Yeah. Hotels running at probably 50% occupancy. One, because they couldn't get staff and probably still are struggling to do so, but we're starting to see that turn around now. So I think the future's bright for the short let sector. Our biggest challenge is staffing. Yeah. Can we get enough housekeepers? Can we get enough maintenance guys? Guest relations, advisors on the telephone. Across the hospitality sector in general, recruitment is difficult, and I think that's the only thing that potentially can hold us back over the coming years is can we get a big enough workforce to service the demand, really.
So what would you say are the three key takeaways for a successful short-term letting stroke holiday letting?
As cliche as it is, location. Yeah. So if you want a successful holiday let, location's going to be key. So if you're saying, right, I want to go after tourism, holiday makers, well, the British seaside, something with a view of the beach, high quality interiors, interior design is a massive thing, dog friendly, tick all those boxes, you're going to have a successful holiday let. If it's short-term accommodation, going after the kind of corporate contractor market, again, location is what city you're operating in, how many cranes are in the sky with work going on. That's going to show you if there's demand there. So location is definitely key. Second, what's the quality of the property? So we've seen lots of people come into the short let market. We've seen the bar raised in terms of standards. So it's really looking, saying, right, how do I set myself out from the crowd? Because there is a lot of stuff looking quite similar. So it's really looking at your market and saying, right, how do I make sure I'm in that top 10, top 15%? Why is someone going to pick my property? And a lot of that comes down to the interior design. So that's a big thing. And then third is professional photography. So I see so many listings on Airbnb, Booking.com, terrible photographs taken with an iPhone, wrong ratios. For what that investment is to get a proper professional photographer in to take those photos will bring you the income back tenfold. So really invest in the professional photography, because ultimately when someone looks for a property, that first image is what they click on. If the image is great, they're going to click on it. If it's not, they're not going to. They're buying that first image. So that's paramount. So yeah, they would be my top 3.
Well, I must say today, your stand, and you've exhibited with us before, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
So it really stands out. So what you're saying is obviously that message, obviously for your business to do that, and offer that. So that brings me on to, so what does Host and Stay do?
So we're full service holiday let and short let management business. So we currently manage just over 600 properties. We're heavily concentrated in the north because that's where we're from, that's where we're based, but we're gradually moving further south and further west. So our ambition is to cover the UK. We should be about 1,000 units by the end of this year. And our point of difference is the fact that we're end to end. So we do booking generation, 24/7 guest communication, housekeeping services, maintenance services, and we deliver that in-house. So as an example, we employ over 200 housekeepers on payroll, work for us, trained by us, quality control by us, guest services in-house in the UK, not offshore. So our whole philosophy is we want to create employment in the UK and we want to keep everything under one roof so we can control quality. From an owner point of view, makes it hands-free and hassle-free for them.
Fantastic. Well, I've learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone watching this has learned a lot, and it's brilliant to have you with us. So I've been speaking with Dale Smith of Host and Stay. My name's Steve Hanbury, National Landlord Investment Show.